a CBC color presentation.
Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Imperial Oil and Esso dealers, agents, and distributors. Ford, the better idea company with better products for you. And Molson's, brewers of Molson Export Ale and Molson Canadian Lager Beer.
Molson Festival Lager Beer, the great new beer with a little more to it, a little more of what you're looking for.
A little more flavor and a little more pleasure.
Molson Festival Lager Beer, the great new beer with a little more to it, a little more of what you're looking for. Molson Festival Lager Beer.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hockey Night in Canada. Tonight, the Oakland Seals meet Toronto here in Maple Leaf Gardens. Well, these two teams have met 3 times this year. So far, a Mexican standoff. Each is 1-1. One was a tie. Last night, the Seals defeated St. Louis by 1 goal. Last Wednesday, Toronto squeaked by those same Blues by 1 goal. Put all this information into the Hockey Night in Canada computer. The result, tonight's game should be close and exciting. Hockey Night in Canada returns with the opening face-off.
You know, the hardest thing for any singer is finding the right song to sing just before intermission. But I think I've found it. It's so pleasant just being here. I feel relaxed and I feel like singing about a wonderful kind of cheer. Molson Festival Lager Beer. Molson Festival Lager Beer. The great new beer with a little more to it, a little more of what you're looking for. Molson Festival Lager Beer. Molson Festival Lager Beer.
Bill Hewitt and Bob Goldham here, Maple Leaf Gardens, and the Oakland Seals are just coming on the ice. The Leafs are already out. We'd like to take this opportunity to welcome some new viewers to Hockey Night in Canada. Station CBLAT Channel 5 in Beardmore, Ontario, is receiving its first telecast from Maple Leaf Gardens through special facilities set up to receive a signal from the Geraldton television station. Welcome to all the hockey fans in Beardmore, and we hope you enjoy the hockey game. And now we'll have the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
All set now to start this first period, and there your goalkeepers, number 30, Gary Smith. for the Oakland Seals, and Bruce Gamble, number 30, are the Toronto Maple Leafs. And setting up the Oakland Seals to start the first period, that's Teddy Hampson, number 10, going to center ice. Earl Ingerfield, number 7, on the right wing. Number 5 is Carl Vadnais on the left side. Bert Marshall, 19, on the blue line, along with Harry Howell, number 3. That's Ullman at center ice, number 9, with Ellis, 6, on the right wing. Henderson is 19. Horton with the puck is 7, and Glennie, number 24. Glennie lost the puck in his own zone to Hampson. Hampson back to the blue line. Harry Howell shoots one, and that's high and wide. Horton knocked it off the boards, but not out. Vadnais losing to Horton again. Horton fails to get it out, shoots it over to the right wing to Ellis for Ullman, and it was behind him. Howell moves up with a long shot wide of the net. Vadnais after with Glennie. It's knocked off the boards to Ullman. Ullman down the right wing. Takes a long shot off the board. Ellis took a whack at it. Horton moves up, takes his shot, as Smith was out of the net. And Horton's shot just was wide. The puck was shot down the ice by the Oakland Seals, and it'll be a face-off brought back into the Oakland zone to the right. The referee is number 11, Wally Harris, and the referee is identified with his striped jersey and the red armband above his left elbow, while the two linesmen are Will Norris, number 21, who will do the honors for this face-off, and Ron Ego, number 24. I believe, Bob, that Gary Smith may have broken his suspenders trying to get back in the net.
Well, I was going to mention that Smith's reputation as a goaltender is he's probably the most widely traveled, and I'm not talking about during the season, but during the game, he's all over the ice. And as you say, I think he probably pulled a suspender when he made that dash to get that puck away from Normie Ullman on that rebound.
All set to go now for the face-off in the Oakland zone to the right. Ullman the draw to Henderson. He shot it wide. Vadnais on the left side to Hampson at center. He's trying to get loose. Gets it over the line. Ron Ellis skated him off. Ryan Glennie, number 24, in possession. Glennie back of the Leaf goal. Into the corner, decides to shoot the puck down the ice. And the Leafs are called for icing. And that'll mean a change of players as Keon comes out with Oliver and Pulford. That's Oliver 11, Keon 14, Pulford 20. Brickley is number 2, and Jim McKinney 18. And now for the Oakland Seals, Howie Menard, number 16 at center ice, with Normie Ferguson on the right wing, number 17, and Don O'Donoghue, number 11, on the left wing. Back at the blue line is Doug Roberts, number 2, and there, of course, number 6 is Dick Machusi. So it's Keon to McKinney. Clearing pass all the way down the ice to Roberts. Roberts shot it back for Ferguson to Menard. Stopped by Jim McKinney. McKinney fails to get it out. Kept in by O'Donoghue to Ferguson. He takes his shot right in front of the net. Gamble grabbed a hold of that with Howie Menard getting awfully close. Guilty again of that sloppy clearing in their own zone.
Well, Jim McKinney with the giveaway on that play, and he had lots of time at the same time.
Direct shot on the net, covered. McKinney off the boards for Oliver, and he didn't see it. Roberts shot it right onto McKinney's stick. McKinney straight down the ice with Keon over the line. Takes his shot, a great save by Smith, Gary Smith. The puck is back in the net. Doug Roberts, clearing pass for Menard, goes all the way to Rick Lee. Shot it for Pulford, broken up by O'Donoghue to Menard, stopped by McKinney, number 18. He shot it right back in again, and Gary Smith stopped it, even though it was off the target. Comes around on the boards for Ferguson. Ferguson ahead to Menard. Over to O'Donoghue, closing in, takes his shot. Gamble caught that, holds on to it, and there's no further play. A good play by number 11, Don O'Donoghue. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
The big gun in refreshment. Molson Canadian. It's the crowd pleaser.
Oakland nothing, Toronto nothing in this first period. Lawton is up there, number 15, with Gary Jarrett, 12 on the left side. Eamon on the right wing, number 8 for the Oakland Seals. And the Leafs have Jimmy Harrison, number 12. Armstrong is 10, and Mike Walton, 16. Hoyton and now Pat Quinn is out for the first time, number 23. That's Harry Howell, 3 on the defense for Oakland, along with number 19, Bert Marshall. The offside causes a face-off halfway between the blue line and the checkered line at center on the Leaf side. Harrison had the draw, lost it. Jarrett back to Howell over on the left side. A long shot by Marshall. Gamble steered that to the corner with his pad. Pat Quinn to Mike Walton. A long pass for Armstrong on the right wing. Jarrett gets a hold of it and shoots it right back in again. Gamble out of the net. Lawton went after the puck. Quinn tried to cover him. Shot by Horton right on a Jarrett stick. He's trying to center it. Came out in front of the net. Mike Walton gets it. Mike Walton. Over for Horton. Back for Walton. And it goes out of the blue line. Howell having to get it back to Marshall. A long shot. It's right through the corner. And Quinn grabbed a hold of it as Gamble nearly let that long shot go in. Another shot is knocked into the corner. As the Oakland Seals are really putting on the pressure. A long pass to the blue line, but not out. Eamon takes the shot wide. And a drive by Jarrett goes to the far wing, and Horton gets it out. There's a race for it. Harrison knocking the puck down the ice. It's going to go over the red line, and that will be icing called against the Maple Leafs. With 15 minutes and 51 seconds to go in the first period, there's no score with the Seals threatening. This is Hockey Night in Canada from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Molson Canadian entertains. Jump aboard, ride a winner. Next time you entertain, choose the smooth taste and lively sparkle of Molson Canadian, the bright, clear lager beer. It's the crowd pleaser.
Ingerfield is taking the face-off now. Number 7 is out there with Batman and also Hickey. Well, Coach Freddie Glover is juggling his lines around a bit in this first period with no score. Rick Lee back for it. Ullman, Ellis, and Henderson. Lee to McKinney. McKinney to Ullman. Ellis racing down the right wing. Takes the pass. Takes his shot. Ullman takes score. Normie Ullman finally put one in the corner, and it's 1-0 for the Leafs.
Take a look at that pass by Normie Ullman over to Ronnie Ellis. A long lead pass. Ellis making a quick shot. Smith going down on the shot and letting the rebound up and not being able to get up. I didn't think the shot was that hard, but Normie Ullman was Johnny on the spot and put it in the long side over Smith's leg.
He certainly put it in a hurry. For Ullman, that's his 10th goal of the season.
Scored by number 9, Ullman. The time,
here's McKinney over the line. 4:38. Ullman, I didn't hear an assist announced on that, but certainly Ellis shot the puck.
Ellis, definitely on the shot. Ullman gave it to him originally at the blue line, so it'd probably be only one assist on it. So.
Toronto Maple Leafs 1, Oakland nothing. 15:09 to go in the first period. That's Wayne Malloy, number 4. To Doug Roberts. Off Ullman to center. Rick Lee shot it back in again. Out by Roberts. At center. Shoots the puck right at Lee. Lee gets it up on the right wing to Ellis. Henderson is loose on the left side. A pass for Henderson over the line. It's knocked back out to center. And Rick Lee shoots it on the right wing. Stopped by Malloy. Malloy to Hickey. Horton wraps it down the ice. Goes past Roberts. Roberts going back for it. It's over the red line. The arm is up from the linesman. That's icing. And what do we have in the first intermission tonight, Bob?
So in our first intermission tonight, Ward Cornell talks to the Oakland defenseman Bert Marshall. And we have a special feature on a 4-year-old hockey prodigy from Kamloops, B.C.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
Boy, that's pretty young to start them, to call them prodigies yet.
The puck goes into the corner. It's cleared out and down the ice to center. Marshall hit Howie Menard with the puck, and Keon sets it up for Oliver, who goes over the Oakland blue line, took his shot, goes after his own rebound. Harry Howell skated him off. Ferguson is covered by Keon. Oliver tried to get loose, and Harry Howell gets it out on the left wing to O'Donoghue. His shot goes into the corner, and it's Glennie. He missed it, but Gamble made sure. Malone is hit. O'Donoghue is hit by Coker. Keon going down over the line. One man back. Pass it for Oliver. He shoots. Oh, and he shot it over top of the net as he was uncovered in front, and the goalkeeper was off to one side. I almost have to say he missed an open net. Harry Howell knocks the puck at center ice. Glennie shoots it up ahead for Pulford. It went over his stick. It's going over the red line again. Howell will touch it. And icing is the call.
Assists on the Toronto goal go to number 6, Ellis, and number 18, McKenney.
Alman's 10th goal of the year, assisted by Ellis, and they've also added McKenney. 4:38 was the time of the goal. It's 1-0 in favor of the Maple Leafs over the Oakland Seals. With 13:23 to go in the first period, it's Mike Walton unable to get out. He was watched by Lawton. Over to McKenney. McKenney's pass was behind Walton. Then it's Fritz Selby out there, and also Ricky Lee for Floyd Smith. Shot out the center ice. Goes all the way back to McKenney. To Rick Lee. Over to McKenney. He was checked. Gary Jarrett has a breakaway. Right in alone. He shoots. Oh, shot wide. Gary Jarrett was right in alone as he took the puck away from Jim McKenney. The puck is still in the Leaf zone. Here's right in front again, and Gamble stopped that. Lawton right in front of the net. McKenney gets it. Up to Walton. At center. Over the blue line. Takes his shot. Oh, great save by Gary Smith, who dropped low and gloved it. Otherwise, that was in underneath the crossbar, Bob.
Bill, I'd like to make a comment on defensive play on both clubs. It certainly isn't the type of play that's conducive to people trying to get in the Stanley Cup playoffs. You know, the giveaways in their end, especially in the Toronto end, 3 or 4 chances that Oakland has had have been almost handed to them. At the other end, Oakland's been a little tighter, but there still have been some lapses on their defenseman's part.
What really causes it, Bob?
Could be over-anxiousness, the only thing I could put it to.
Elman is knocked down. Up comes Ted Hampson, number 10 for Oakland, knocking the puck past Vadnais into the Leaf zone into the corner. Pat Quinn touches it, but that's icing as Teddy Hampson had shot it from his own side of the checkered line. And we go back into the Oakland zone to the left for a faceoff. Hampson, Vadnais, and Ingerfield, Howell, and Marshall. Alman, Ellis, Henderson, Quinn, and Horton. Quinn keeps the puck in, gets his shot away. That was on the short side. Henderson takes Howell into the boards. Ullman tries to dig it out. Trying to get it back to Henderson and to Ullman. Broken up by Howell. Howell to Hampson. Straight up the ice at center for Oakland. Over the blue line. And pass for Vadnais, and he missed it. And Ellis gets a break down the right wing. He goes over the blue line. Tried to pass it to Ullman. Vadnais slipped it out for Ingerfield too far. Quinn's pass, and Ullman gets it. Over to Ron Ellis. Stopped by Marshall. Marshall to Vadnais. There's nobody with him. Quinn intercepted that pass. Fed it for Henderson. Ullman and Henderson trying to combine. A pass to Ullman. Couldn't get his shot away, and it's Ingerfield coming back for Oakland. He hit the referee, but Howell picks it up. Takes a long shot at Gamble. Deflects with his glove, and it goes up into the crowd. This is Hockey Night in Canada from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
The meal's great, and the ale that comes to your table should be, too. The Thirst Breaker gives a lift to the specialty of the house. Ale that tastes the way a fine ale should taste. Molson Export Ale.
Enjoy a Molson Export Ale, the big ale in the big land.
Cool, crisp tasting. The Thirst Breaker.
Jim McKenney brings the puck out for the Leafs. Off the boards for Murray Oliver. He didn't see it. Ferguson couldn't follow up. McKenney does. McKenney going into the Oakland zone, trying to cut in front. Right in front. Oh, and Keon missed the open net. Keon goes down. The puck is loose. Cleared up by Malloy, and that goes into the crowd. And Keon was put right in the clear by Jim McKenney, and he missed an open net.
Some nights you're going to wish you had all those back. This could be one of them if the game goes on. Here we take a look at McKenney breaking in, warding that defenseman off with his arm and dumping it out to Davy Keon. And Davy, with Smith down and out of the position, missed about 3 feet of that net.
Rickley, a long shot. Gary Smith gloves it, shoots it into the corner. It's cleared right to McKenney. Lets his shot go. Oliver tried to take a whack at it. Pulford after it. The puck goes loose. Keon took his man out. Murray Oliver trying to center it. Keon back to Oliver. Then to Keon. Back to Rickley. There's his shot. And Smith kicked it out. McKenney wrapped it back in the net. Into the corner. Oliver trying to get it loose. Roberts shoots it out on the left wing for O'Donoghue. Stopped by McKenney to Pulford. Pulford over the line. He took a shot that hit Malloy. He and Pulford went to the boards. Cleared out by Oakland, and it's shot right back by Rickley past Oliver. It's going over the red line, and that's icing called against the Maple Leafs with 10 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the first period. 1-0 Toronto. Pittsburgh leading Los Angeles 2-0 on Jean Pronovo's goal at 4:16 from Schock and Morrison, and Brian Hextall from Clennis at 5:29. It's 1-0 here in favor of the Maple Leafs. That's Mike Lawton, number 15. At center ice with Eamon on the right wing, number 8, and Gary Jarrett, number 12, on the left wing. Harry Howell back there for it, number 3. Off the board, broken up by Mike Walton. It was a delayed whistle, but he didn't touch it. Knocked back at the blue line. Harrison missed the puck. Jarrett ran into Glennie. Then the shot hit Harrison, and he got a breakaway. Lawton shoots the puck into the Leaf zone, and Glennie goes back for it. Gamble let it go to Walton. Back for Horton. Around on the boards for Mike Walton. Up for Armstrong. Armstrong up to Harrison over the blue line. Harrison closes in, tries to center it. Did on a second try, but Marshall was there to get it to Jarrett. Jarrett's shot hits Horton. Rebounds to Howell. His shot knocked down by Glennie. To Armstrong, back for Harrison. Harrison up at center. Knocks it in offside. As Armstrong was well inside the blue line. 9 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the first period. 1-0 Toronto. Hellman, Henderson, and Ellis facing Hampson, Ingerfield, and Vadnais. Very cleanly paid period. Here's Henderson stealing the puck. Hellman! Deflected off Marshall. Ellis trying to center it. Puck kept in by Lee. Then it's out. McKenney for Hellman. Back to Ellis. He's over the line. Ellis takes his shot, and that deflects in front of the net. It goes to the corner. Hellman gets it back to McKenney. That shot is gloved by Smith, and he holds it as his 2 defensemen were nowhere to be seen.
He looked just about ready to take off on that play, Bill, and wouldn't be surprising to see him get out to that blue line before the evening's over.
That's right, and he's quite a stick handler, you know. I think if anybody's going to score a goal in an empty net, it'll either be he or Giacomo. The 2 of them are very versatile at skating around in their own zone. I think that's Eddie Giacomo's ultimate goal with the Rangers. He scored. Ellis's hard drive was over top of the net. Rick Lee a shot to Ullman, and that's gloved by Gary Smith. And the Leafs are putting on the pressure. This line of Ullman, Henderson, and Ellis has certainly carried the play, Bob.
The way they're playing out there tonight, they look like they're glad they're reunited again.
Coach Johnny McClellan was saying that he thought that Ellis was not getting enough work on the right wing and that they were not passing the puck enough to him. Henderson taking the face-off now against Ingerfield. He got the draw. A backhand by Ellis was right on the net. Doug Roberts shoots it off the boards, but not out. Rick Lee lets one go. Gary Smith gloves that. Picked off by Dick Matusi. He can't get out. Hampson turns in his own zone. Shot the puck out over the blue line. Vadnais pass intercepted by Ellis to Henderson. Henderson over the line. He's cutting in. Centered it. Ellis trying to help him out. Hampson leaves it there for Ingerfield. His pass stopped by Ellis. Ellis getting set. There's the shot. That one over top of the net. Right in front again. Ellis shoots. Oh, gets it again in the corner. Shot it across the other side. The Leafs doing everything but add to their total. It's against the boards and play is called. This is Hockey Night in Canada from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
What a time for the clean sweep favorite, Molson Export Ale, the ale that tastes the way a fine ale should taste. After the pleasure of any sport, the cool, crisp enjoyment of the big ale in the big land. The Thirst Breaker.
Toronto 1, Oakland nothing. 7:37 remaining in the first period. Quinn is shot, and that was stopped. As Oliver tried to deflect it, Ferguson coming down for Oakland. A pass at center. Quinn knocked his man down. Keon went with him. Shot into the lead zone, and Murray Oliver's there for it. Oliver missed a check from Menard. It's right in front of the net, and Gamble grabs it.
Incidentally, Bruce Gamble's shutout the other night, Bill, was his 5th of the year, and that equals his former total that he had in 67-68.
A chance for Norm Ferguson, 17, and he couldn't handle it from Menard. Horton gets it up to Murray Oliver, to Keon with Pulford, and Pulford's pass was just deflected by Bert Marshall. Ferguson tried to hit Menard, and it's Oliver for Pulford. Stopped by O'Donoghue for Menard, and it's knocked back out to center ice. Marshall shoots the puck in. Gamble stops it there for Quinn. Quinn's pass for Oliver is deflected down the ice. It does not have enough momentum to go over the red line, therefore will not be icing. Keon took his check out. A pass for Ferguson. Up for Menard. Over the line, stopped by Quinn to Oliver. Oliver straight up at center. Over the line, Keon. Put him offside by going in advance of the puck carrier. We have 6 minutes and 23 seconds to go in the first period. 1-0 Toronto. Alman's 10th of the year from Ellis and McKenney at 4:38. Mike Lawton at center ice now with Jarrett on the left wing, Eamon on the right. Walton, Selby, and Floyd Smith. Rick Lee and Jim McKenney. Rick Lee straight up the ice at center with Walton. They're over the line. Walton cuts in front of the net. Here's a shot by Selby, and that just failed to find the open side as Gary Smith was cutting from the post. Lawton misses a check. Selby took the puck away from him. Back to McKenney to Lee. Off the boards for Selby, and he couldn't reach it. McKenney gets the puck back out to center ice. Cleared in by Malloy. And it's back in the net for Rick Lee. A drop pass for McKenney around on the boards to Floyd Smith. Trying to set up Mike Walton. The puck rolls at the blue line. Back up for Roberts to Jarrett right on the net. Picked off by Gamble. Kenny then to Floyd Smith, trying to set up Walton. He's got him in the clear. Right in on goal. He shoots. Oh, and it split underneath Gary Smith and out the open side. Mike Walton had him beaten on the play. Now then Walton is getting into a battle. Wayne Roberts. They all jam into the boards. Lloyd Smith, Gary Jarrett, Mike Lawton, and Jim McKinney pair off. And Walton is on top of number 2, Doug Roberts. And that's where it'll end, Bob.
I don't even know how that started, because there wasn't anything after Walton missed that breakaway of his. I didn't see Roberts give him the stick or anything. Maybe he was just upset the fact he missed.
Well, I think what happened, Barb, I noticed in the corner that when Walton went in to check him after missing, when the puck carambashed the goalpost, that he got a bit of an elbow. I guess he didn't like it after missing.
Well, as I say, that probably upset him more than the elbow would. A chance to add to his total, because he was home free from the blue line in on that pass by Smith.
And actually, they tried it twice, didn't they? They won just previous to that. It was stopped by the Oakland defense.
Right. Well, it was both plays were very identical. Smith being the person who tried to get him on his way, and Walton was definitely in behind on both. The second one got through to him, and he made a nice play on Smith. Wound up that puck just missing the post after him shooting it.
Another thing that was quite noticeable, Bob, was the fact that nobody else wanted to precipitate anything, and they just took partners and stood and waited till they were parted. Otherwise, you'd have another brawl.
Well, there hasn't been it. That was the first evidence of any ill.
Oakland penalty to number 2, Roberts. 5 minutes for fighting. Toronto penalty to number 16, Walton. 5 minutes for fighting. Time 14:50.
Here's a look at that breakaway here, Bill, with Walton getting in the clear, and this is Roberts in pursuit. Now, maybe we'll pick it up later on here if the camera, yeah, well, there he is, going into the corner. Here's the play coming up now. And Walton is the aggravator by going in. Oh, there's the elbow coming back now, and boy, they come off in a hurry. Walton was, he was ready to do battle as soon as he got that elbow.
Right. Well, that's what I thought I saw, the elbow coming up after he'd bounced him into the boards.
Well, I'd followed the puck away from the corner after he'd lost it.
Well, we have 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first period. Toronto 1, Oakland nothing. And it's Horton over to Ellis. Ellis over the blue line, drops it for Ullman. The teams are at full strength. There's a shot by Ellis, and it was a slow one, and Smith was able to recover. Ellis for Quinn, knocked out on top of Vadnais, and Vadnais lies on the ice and covers up. Toronto 1 and Oakland nothing. First period. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the period. That's Ted Hampson, number 10 at center, with Ingerfield over on the left side and Hickey on the right. Henderson back to Quinn. A shot was deflected by Ullman. It was wide. Henderson took his man into the board. Vadnais covers up and play is called.
There's a good look at Teddy Hampson, who's Oakland's leading scorer last year, Bill. He had 26 goals with 49 assists. That ranked him 14th in the league and probably helped him win the Bill Masterton Trophy last year.
Ingerfield over on the left wing for Oakland. He's knocked out of the play. The puck goes loose. Malloy goes back of the net. Coming up for Oakland now. Passed it over on the left side for Hampson. Broken up by Horton to Ellis to Henderson. Henderson gets over the line, takes his backhand. That's wide. Ingerfield lost it to Ellis. Back to Ullman. Centered it, hit it, score! Perfect pass from Ullman.
A real fine combination play here. Ellis to Ullman. And here's Ullman making the fake to Ellis and putting it out to Henderson, all in the same motion, right back through Smith's leg. No delay on the play at all, but a clever three-way passing play with that line.
Toronto goal scored by number 19, Henderson. Assist, number 9, Ullman, and number 6, Ellis. The time, 15:52.
15:52, and for Paul Henderson, that's number 9 for him and 10 for Ullman. Here's a chance for Oliver. Pass for Keon, and that was knocked off to the side. It's Oliver stealing the puck again as Howell failed to get it out. Keon tried to set up Oliver. Howell goes back in the net. There's nobody to pass it to. McKenny moved up. The puck bounces loose. Howie Menard, a long pass. McKenny knocks it down for Keon. It's way offside. Ferguson took his shot, but way inside the blue line. On the left side was number 11, Don O'Donoghue. Toronto 2, Oakland nothing. First period, 3:36 remaining. Keon lost possession. The puck goes into the corner. Rick Lee around to McKenny. McKenny to Keon. Keon turns. Back to McKenny. Over to Rick Lee. Up at center. Long shot off the boards. O'Donoghue's back there for it. Drops into the corner to Marshall, around to Menard. Menard's pass for O'Donoghue. And he's checked by McKenny, who shot it right back in again. Howell's back for it. Watched by Oliver. Jim Harrison is out there as well. It's a shot to the blue line. Menard to Howell. Inch shot knocked down by McKenny. Gets it out over the blue line. Howell over to Ferguson. Ferguson stopped by Harrison. Harrison to Fulford. And Selby back to Harrison. Band on his shot as O'Donoghue stopped him. Harrison kept it in. Marshall feeds it to Howell, up to Ferguson. Ferguson's pass for Menard, broken up by Rick Lee to Harrison. He's over the line. Shot it for Floyd Smith on the right wing. Floyd Smith covered his man, and O'Donoghue was hit by Harrison. Comes out over the blue line. Floyd Smith to Horton, back to Rick Lee. Over on the right side for Harrison. Broken up by Marshall. They're changing as the puck is shot into the lead zone, and Gamble gives it to Rick Lee. Around for Selby, and he holds it against the boards for a faceoff. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Join the parade to the bright clear lager, Molson Canadian. It's the crowd pleaser.
The puck is out at center ice. Shot over here on the right wing, and it's cleared by Quinn to center ice again. Shot back into the Leaf zone. Quinn then feeds it for Horton. Too far. Garrett is set up even in front. Mike Lawton touched the puck with a high stick, and that's where play will end. And it'll come outside the blue line because it was knocked down with a high stick by the Oakland Seals, who were the offensive team at that point. Had it been knocked down by a Leaf player's high stick, it would have been terminated and faced off where the infraction took place. Now it's Ullman up at center ice. Long shot wide of the net. Ellis cruises in. Standing it right in front door. Ellis slipped it in from behind Gary Smith. And now, let's have a look at this one. Watch it. Gary Smith pulls away a little bit. There's the puck that hit a skate and went underneath Gary Smith, who didn't see it. Gary Smith just started to move when the puck was centered, and it hit Gary Lawton's skate and went in the net. So Ronnie Ellis.
Toronto goal scored by number 6, Ellis. Assist number 9, Ullman. The time 18:37.
18:37, Ellis from Ullman. Play is called. Martin was knocked down, and there's going to be a penalty here, I believe, to the Leafs. And it'll be Quinn. He had the Oakland player covered in front of the net. Toronto Maple Leafs 3. The Oakland Seals nothing.
Toronto penalty to number 23, Quinn. 2 minutes for holding.
Holding
time 18:52.
18:52 is the time for holding. And the scoring plays now, but Ullman from Ellis and McKinney at 4:38, Henderson from Ullman and Ellis at 15:52, and then Ellis from Ullman at 18:37. There's a shot that hit Hansen. McKinney.
Last minute of play in this period.
Less than a minute to go in the first period. Hansen goes back into his own zone. Gets it ahead to Bill Hickey, number 9. He's going over the Leaf blue line with Hansen. He stops. Here comes the screen shot. That hit Lee. Another shot right on. Gamble stopped that. McKinney going into the corner. Pulford after it. Got it to the blue line. Grabbed by McKinney. 33 seconds up to Keon. And covering up then was Dick Machusi of Oakland. The puck goes loose with 24 seconds. McKinney back to Lee. Over to Pulford. To Keon. Back to Pulford. To McKinney. To Gamble. To Rick Lee. Up to Pulford. Pulford and Keon with 8 seconds. One man back. Pulford closes in. Shoots. Another shot. Right on. And that was stopped by Gary Smith. There goes the bell, and the first period is over from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Hockey Night in Canada.
Oh, come on. Don't be shy. We know you. That's better. Now, there you are. Molson Export Ale. A great thirst breaker after a game of golf. Export Ale. A welcome addition to your favorite meal. Export Ale. A refreshing taste at a party or friendly gathering. Export Ale. The ale that tastes the way a fine ale should taste. Big in flavor, big in popularity. Canada's largest selling ale. The big ale in the big land. Molson Export Ale.
Well, a big first period for the Leafs and a big one for the Ullman-Henderson-Ellis line. Ullman getting the first goal at 4:38, Henderson the second at 15:52, and Ellis the third at 18:37. Ullman picking up 2 assists as well as his goal. Well, we'd like to welcome now young defenseman with the Oakland Seals, Bert Marshall. And Bert, how do you like living out on the West Coast?
I think it's really great out there, Ward, out in Oakland, the Bay Area, out there in San Francisco, right across the bay. It's really a super place to live. It's too bad we're not having more fans, but it's coming along all right.
It is coming along, eh?
I'm from Kamloops, British Columbia originally, and it's kind of reminds me of that area a little bit out there in the bay. You get to see the mountains and that every once in a while. Not kind of like back east here where you kind of look out the door and you can't see too much.
Bert, you mentioned about the crowds. Now, having played in Detroit for so long, does the fact that you have 5,000 to 6,000 rather than 12,000 to 15 bother you?
Well, the crowd out there is really noisy for the small numbers that they are, so it kind of makes up for it a little bit. It's kind of hard when you first skate on the ice, though, and you look up in the stands and you see all the empty seats. You just kind of got to psych yourself into feeling that there's a lot of people there, and they kind of make you feel that way, though, too, with all the noise that they make. So it's not as bad as you would think it would be, but still it's not 16,000 like you say.
But the last 3 outings, your crowds have been up a bit.
Well, the last 3 losses that we had at home, our crowds were up. We played Montreal last Wednesday night, and it was down a little bit, but things are kind of looking up for us, I hope.
Now, at the first of the season, I sort of picked the Seals to finish very high in the standings, maybe even after last year's play, take it away from St. Louis this year, and yet you've been most of the season in 5th spot, starting to come on lately. Now, is there any reason for this?
Well, it sounds like sour grapes and things like that, but I kind of look to the schedule a little bit myself. Everybody tries to analyze the situation and see what is wrong. We can't say we played good because we haven't, but I think the schedule had a lot to do with that. And we started off the season on the road for the first week. We went home, played 7 games at home, and 6 of them were against the Eastern Division team, so that kind of starts off the season on a bad foot. And then we've had 2 trips since then of 18 days apiece, so you kind of get to miss your wives and family, and it kind of gets to be a real drag living out of a suitcase on the road.
So, Bert, really, the rest of the season, then you've got the tough part of the schedule over.
right. We've got 18 home games left and only 8 road games after tonight. So, and we're only 2 points. I see L.A. was beating Pittsburgh out there. So, no matter what happens tonight, I hope maybe L.A. will drop Pittsburgh there, and we're still only 2 points out of 3rd place and 5 behind Philly.
Bert, you mentioned your home was Kamloops, and we have a feature coming up on young Craig Redmond. Now, did you know this young fellow at all?
Yes, my partner with me in a hockey school out in Kamloops, Andy Klobuchuk, and I got to see this young fellow last summer. He came over to the rink there, and his dad wanted to get him some ice time, and so we agreed, and we saw him in action out there, and he's really quite something to see out there on the ice. He's about that high, and boy, can he ever go.
Well, we're going to take a look at him. Bert, thanks for being with us, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Ward.
Well, as Bert mentioned, Craig Redmond of Kamloops, BC, is probably the most publicized 4-year-old hockey player in Canada. And you may have read the controversial articles surrounding the publicity stunt by Western Canada Hockey League when they announced that they might sign young Craig to a contract. However, thank goodness, the league president did not go for this move, and Craig only 4, remember that, he's back to skating between the periods at the Kamloops games. Well, what is Craig like? Well, he's a normal 4-year-old boy who has an insatiable desire to skate and play hockey. And here's Ted Darling with that story from Kamloops, BC.
This beaming smile of a young hockey player is typically Canadian, but in this case, it's also a bit different. The smile belonged to Craig Redmond of Kamloops, BC, who is 4 years old, stands 3 feet 9 inches, and weighs 45 pounds. Craig has developed an amazing skating ability, so much so that he is featured in special between-periods exhibitions at hockey games in his hometown and in other centers in British Columbia and Alberta. Here's Craig, along with his father, performing recently before a capacity crowd in the Kamloops area. Craig's proud parents, Harry and Norma, talked about their hockey-playing youngster.
I'd say he has a natural interest. He got his first pair of skates when he was 2 years old, and he didn't skate until a year later. And the reason for this was that I was playing with a group, then a solo group, and with my 8-hour-a-day job, I didn't have time to take him to the rink. After the 3rd birthday, I took him out to skate, and he seemed to, the first time I put him on the ice, he walked around the ice and his ankles were very straight. And after 3 or 4 hours, he had a stride. And as his interest built mine, he built my interest, and it's just been building ever since.
He starts out by eating a very good breakfast. His dinner isn't quite as heavy. His supper could be a heavier meal just depending on what he's eaten in between. As a youngster, he enjoys watching a great deal of television. He hasn't asked me yet how to write his name or count or anything like this. I think he's too involved in other things around him to really have time to do something like this. I think he's a normal boy for his age. He's very curious of what's going on around him.
Well, I know the boy is quite strong because Craig skates mostly with 7- and 8-year-old boys, and he has no trouble pushing them around, you know, or he'll stand his own. They can't knock him down too easy. They will, and he'll knock them down, but he'll stand his own. Some days he'll skate 9 hours, and my legs will be just aching, and he'll feel tired. But if he gets with a friend or a boy and they want to race around the ice, you can't see them. It's tireless. He forgets this.
It was recommended to us by his figure skating teacher that we take him to a place where there was a nice surface, and Banff seemed to be the ideal place, being that this is sort of holiday land. We entered him there at the Banff School of Fine Arts, only to find later on that there was nothing here for him. It was then that we were recommended to try and get ice time for him with the Glen Sather Hockey School, and it was here that he met people like Glen Sather and Derek Sanderson. They spent a great deal of time with Craig, giving him pointers, and my husband pointers.
Who's your favorite NHL hockey players, Craigie?
Derek Sanderson, Bolivar.
What position do you like to play?
Defense.
And who's your favorite NHL team?
Boston.
Do you like going to the Rockets hockey games in Kamloops?
Huh?
Who's your favorite player on the Kamloops team?
Bobby Orr.
No, on the...
Wayne Gibbs.
Right. Why do you like Bobby Orr?
Because he's a good skater.
4-year-old Craig Redmond already has a trophy to show for his skating skills. 20 years from now, he could be adding more to his collection for his play in the National Hockey League.
So I suppose it's normal to ask, will young Craig Redmond ever be a pro hockey star? Well, probably not. But you know, someday, when Craig's pulling teeth or teaching school somewhere out across the country, he'll probably remember that he was the best doggone 4-year-old hockey player who ever lived. So whatever your future, Craig, we wish you lots of luck. And now to the NHL tonight, where we have all the teams with the exception of St. Louis and New York in action. Detroit 1, Boston 0. Getting toward the end of the first period, Gary Unger getting that goal for Detroit. In the Los Angeles-Pittsburgh game, Eddie Shack has scored for the West Coast Club. For Pittsburgh, Pronovo and Hextall. In Philadelphia, it's also a 2-1 game, with Chicago leading Philadelphia, Pappen and Nestorenko scoring for the Hawks. Wayne Hillman from Clark and his brother Larry at 1:54 of the first period for Philadelphia. No score, of course, in this Central League game between Montreal and Minnesota. Hockey Night in Canada continues in just a moment.
Wherever you live, wherever you travel, in the big land, you can always find the thirst breaker. Molson Export Ale. The big ale in the big land. It's the ale that tastes the way you know a fine ale should taste. Open an Export Ale when the gang drops in at your house. Order an Export Ale when you visit your favorite lounge or tavern. Enjoy an Export Ale when you're at the cottage or just plain relaxing at home. The ale that's big in flavor, big in popularity, biggest in sales. The big ale in the big land. Molson Export Ale. The thirst breaker.
Raw, brute power. That's what we built into our new battery. 35% more muscle than the next battery in our line. Made possible by unique polypropylene construction. It's so good we guarantee to replace it free if it fails to hold a charge while you hold it. The Atlas Red Brute. There's a bit of the brute in every Atlas battery. For a trouble-free winter, get an Atlas Red Brute from your SO dealer.
Time now for Bob Golden's anthology, The Best of the First Period.
Gee, I don't know whether I like your language too well or not, Ward, but all kinds of highlights. It could have been 10 or 15 goals that period. Rather a loose hockey game, you know, from a defensive standpoint. The first we're going to look at is Normie Ullman's 10th goal of the season. He made the play himself to Ron Ellis, with Ellis making a hard shot, Smith making a save, but Ullman getting in there rather quickly and picking up the rebound and dumping it under Smith. We see it from that end zone camera. Here's Normie throwing that long pass over to Ellis and then cutting back to the center, and Ellis letting go a hard shot. He wasn't at a very difficult angle, but Smith made the save look awful tough and let that rebound go out, and Normie just managed to get it underneath him and trickled over the line, and I guess Ullman was glad to see it go in.
It went Ullman to Ellis, and then he put it in, and yet McKinney got an assist.
He started it out from his own end. He came out with a thump originally.
That way.
Yeah, I would imagine. He originally got it out over the blue line to Ullman at center ice. On the second one, we see Davey Keon make an excellent move on your intermission guest, Bert Marshall. Here he picked the puck up here from a scramble. Now watch this move he put on Marshall. He faked him the outside and then went back again. Come back here on a 2-on-1 with Murray Oliver, and Oliver almost got that rebound, but Ferguson came back awful quick to nullify what could have been another Toronto goal. And as I say, here's that move he put on Marshall going away from him. And it leaves Harry Howell back alone with Murray Oliver coming up, but Ferguson come back and just enough to tip that puck away, and although it did come loose again right here, and Murray Oliver almost had an open net on the far side.
And quickly?
And the last one quickly is a misplay by McKinney in his own end. Gary Jarrett stealing the puck and going in on Gamble. Gamble coming well out on the play here. You see him getting it here in his feet. Now watch where Gamble comes out. He's a good 10 feet out of that net. Forces Jarrett to shoot wide with Ricky Lee coming back on him very quickly. That was Oakland's best chance.
Well, here at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, the score at the end of the first period, Oakland Seals no score, Toronto Maple Leafs 3.
It's quite a line, the Atlas line. It's a full line, a complete line, guaranteed by Imperial Oil. For the complete Atlas line and trouble-free happy motoring, drive in here. We're close by.
The Leafs are on the ice now for the second period and will defend the north end of the left. There's the score, Toronto 3, Oakland nothing. After one period, still waiting for Oakland to make their appearance. Scoring plays in the first period, Ullman's 10th from Ellis and McKenney at 4:38. Henderson's 9th from Ullman and Ellis at 15:52, his 9th. And Ronnie Ellis' 23rd from Ullman at 18:37. And the Leafs outshot Oakland in the first period, 21-10. Oakland Seals on the ice in their white uniforms with the green trim, defending the south end to my right. There's 52 seconds left in Pat Quinn's penalty that he received at 18:52. Walton and Roberts got 5 minutes each for fighting at 14:50. Backup goalkeepers tonight for Oakland Seals is Charlie Hodge, and for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Jerry McNamara. There's a look at the Leaf bench, and there's your official for tonight's game, Wally Harris, number 11. Identified with that red armband above his left elbow. And he will face off the puck between Hampson, number 10, and Armstrong, number 10. He's out there with Selby, McKenney, and Lee, and the puck is shot down the ice. And it's Harry Howell going back for it. Howell back of the Oakland net, waits for his teammates to come back. Hampson is with him, takes the pass, and he's going to start out. Being watched by Armstrong, gets to the blue line, and then was checked by Armstrong, who slid away from him. Armstrong was checked by Badney, up for Hampson. That was wide. Ricky Lee holds it against the back of the net. They're trying to dig it out. They can't. And there's 21 seconds left in Quinn's penalty. A face-off in the lead zone to the left. Now they're moving it to the right side. Ullman comes out to replace Selby. Puck is dropped. It goes back to McKenney. McKenney shoots the puck down the ice. And going back for it is Bert Marshall, number 19. Gives it to Harry Howell, number 3. We have 5 seconds left in Quinn's penalty. Standing up in the penalty box, ready to come out, is Howell. Takes a long shot and does that over the top of the glass and nearly hit a spectator who wasn't paying attention to what was going on, but however, the last second ducked and it missed. Quinn has returned. So the teams are back at full strength. And now for the Leafs, Ullman, Ellis, and Henderson, Quinn, and Horton. Ellis handed it right to Hampson. Hampson closing in, gets his shot. Gamble stopped that. Ronnie Ellis for Ullman. Ullman knocked it to the blue line, but not out. A shot by Ingerfield hit Quinn. Henderson spun around, seemed to hurt himself a little bit. Now then Quinn comes back. Over to Henderson. Henderson lost the puck. Harry Howell coming back. Up at center. Martin breaks it up. His pass for Ullman was broken up by Marshall. Marshall of Oakland shoots it in again. Quinn gets the rebound off the boards. Ingerfield tried to move up. Quinn's pass for Ullman, broken up by Marshall. Hits loose to Hampson. Martin checked him, knocked him down. Flips it up to Ullman. Ullman to Quinn. Up at center. Over the line, right into Marshall. Shot off the boards and out to Hampson. Hampson going down the ice. Over the blue line. Dropped it for Ingerfield. He's checked and Ullman's got it. Ullman with Henderson. Henderson going up over the blue line with Ullman. Ullman had the pass, centered it right in front. The rebound comes all the way to the blue line where Vadnais gets it for Oakland. Straight down to center. Up over the leaf line. Goes to the corner with Rick Lee. Lee took him to the boards. The puck goes loose and Keon's got it. Keon straight down the left wing at center. Over the blue line. Takes his shot right on. Fulford went after the rebound and it's picked off there by Marshall. Up to center ice for Donahue, stopped by Rick Lee. Ricky Lee over the line. Still has it. Back to Keon. Keon's pass was broken up. Hampson hands it right to Fulford, who flipped the puck into the corner. It goes back of the net to Gary Smith to Howell. Howell takes his time, shoots it off the boards. Out for O'Donoghue. Missed a check from McKinney and was knocked over the line. Oliver to McKinney, back to Murray Oliver. Up to Keon. Keon back with Fulford, who just missed the pass. It's back of the net, around on the boards for Ferguson. Up for Menard, number 16. His pass for O'Donoghue goes into the lead zone. O'Donoghue's in there first. Kenny checked him. Keon pass, and Quinn gets it. Quinn to Oliver, to McKinney. Up to Dave Keon with Murray Oliver. A long shot, caught by Gary Smith. He drops it there. O'Donoghue's pass into the corner. Ferguson gets it up to O'Donoghue at center ice. Going down with Menard and Ferguson. O'Donoghue centered it across the goal mouth. There was nobody there. Harrison bumped into his check. Quinn back of the net. Horton helps him out. And Tim Horton now stick handles with a pass to Mike Walton. Walton with Fulford over the line. Fulford centered it. Harrison goes back of the net. Still has it. Trying to center it in front. Did to Quinn. He shoots. And Walton missed the rebound. O'Donoghue to Ferguson. Over the blue line. Gets the shot. He's shot wide. Mike Walton coming back. At center. Over the blue line. Safety shot. Centered it. Wayne Smith got his shot. He rolled over top of Gary Smith. Ferguson then for Menard. He's over the line. Takes his shot. Ferguson got a piece of that. At least Harrison. Harrison up for Floyd Smith. For Mike Walton. He's in the clear. Takes his shot. Shot down the ice by Oakland. Horton goes back for it. Shot it up for Floyd Smith too far. It's going down the ice, but it won't go over the red line. 14:54 remaining in the second period. Leafs leading 3-0. And this has been really wide open in this second period and very few stoppages in play. Ryan Glennie around for Ellis. Tips it down the right wing. Bert Marshall got it over an open wing. Henderson's got it. Over the line for Ullman. Ullman missed it. He thought he saw Ellis coming in behind him. Back for Eamon. Eamon of Oakland over the line. Stopped by Glennie. It's knocked down into the Oakland zone. Marshall back for it. Off the boards for Gary Jarrett. Stopped by Glennie for Ullman. Ullman's shot is going high, and that goes over the glass into the crowd, and we have 14-13 left in the second period, Bob.
I thought on that prior shift that Henderson had hurt his groin, and I thought we mightn't see him again this period. I see he's being replaced by George Armstrong now, so I really expect that he did aggravate that groin on that play just prior to this shift, Bill.
Well, he's still rubbing his leg over there, too, Bob, so absolutely right. Glennie lets the shot go. Ullman deflected it, and that's what is known as a slow one.
Boy, that really was a change-up on that play. Smith going across on the shot, and that puck just ticked his stick and underneath his arm. There was no way he could get back on it. Just looked at it going by him on his back.
After Ullman being so frustrated in Detroit on Thursday night when he had at least 6 or 7 chances, has now scored twice tonight.
Toronto goal scored by number 9, Ullman. Assist number 24, Glennie. The time 5:51.
5:51 is the time as Ullman comes back up the center. Ellis racing down the right wing. A long shot off the board. Ellis right in front. And Gary Smith came out to grab that one. Otherwise, Ellis was in the clear.
For the power you need and the mileage you want, keep running with SO Extra for more miles of trouble-free motoring.
There's the score. Toronto 4, Oakland nothing. Keon trying to get it back to the blue line. Wolford keeps it in. McKinney is checked. The puck went out to center. Knocked back in Keon, but Oliver was offside. Keon had been able to get out, but Oliver couldn't. Faceoff will come back to the checkered line just on the Oakland side. 13:35 to go in the second period. 4-0 Toronto. Wolford gets the puck back to Rick Lee. Intercepted by Ferguson over the blue line. He was closing in there, and a shot. Campbell clubs that, and it's Jim McKinney. Up for Murray Oliver. For Pulford to Keon. Keon over the line with Oliver, and just able to get it through to him. Ferguson. Covered by Keon. Puck is loose. Oliver then to Keon, right in front of Pulford. He shoots. That was stopped. It's right in front of Pulford, and a shot. Oh! Right side of the net. A long pass up at center, deflected off O'Donoghue's stick all the way back into the lead zone. That's McKinney. Up for Pulford. To Oliver. Back to Keon. Over the line. Right in for Oliver. Goes back in the net. Keon after it. Gets it loose. Trying to center it, then decides to hold it there, and we'll have a face-off in the Oakland zone to the right. And the Leafs are really skating now, Bob.
They're certainly giving that Oakland club a lot of trouble in their own end. They're on top of all the loose pucks, and they're forechecking probably as well as I've seen them in a couple of weeks.
Well, 27. Remaining in the second period. It's 4-0 for the Maple Leafs. Harry Howell of Oakland. Harrison watched him. It's shot right down in the Leaf zone. Tipped off Horton's stick, going after the Zeman. Zeman goes into the boards. Horton fell. There's a shot across the goal mouth. And Harrison feeds Walton. Walton at center. Over the line to Harrison. Back to Walton. Centered it right in front. Couldn't get it. Quinn came cruising across looking to throw a body check. Now Harrison again. For Walton. Just failed to click. Harrison gets the puck. Shoots it into the Oakland zone. Lawton back for it. Over to Bert Marshall. Marshall to Howell. Howell coming up at center. A long shot into the corner. Quinn getting it to Walton. Up for Floyd Smith. Knocked back into the lead zone. Harrison after it. Jarrett after him. To Horton. Horton. Straight up the ice at center with Walton. A pass off Walton goes to the corner. Walton centered it. Gary Smith knocked it off to the wing. Howell's got it caught in his glove, and he decides to hold it there.
At Esso, winter troubles melt away. For a trouble-free winter, see your Esso dealer.
On the face-off, back to McKinney. His shot right on. Gary Smith stopped it. Oh, and Hellman just failed to put that one in the corner. Hellman's got it again. Back to McKinney. There's his shot. That's off the target. Gary Smith gloves it and holds onto it for a face-off, and Hellman was cruising around there again. He has 2 goals and 2 assists in the 4 goals that have been scored. Face-off in the Oakland zone to the left of Gary Smith, who's the busiest player on the ice. Gendron from Dornhofer and Nolet, and they have tied the score now. It's Pittsburgh 2 and Chicago 2. It's Philadelphia 2, Chicago 2. McKinney at center ice. A long shot into the corner, goes back of the net into the far side to Roberts. Roberts up to Hampson, number 10 at center. Over the blue line. He got a high stick from Glenny. Glenny straight down the ice to Ullman. Glenny was given a body check. Ellis after Hampson. Ullman centered it. That nearly bounced in the net. Henderson is back out. Back to Glenny. Fans on the shot. Down the ice for Hampson. Hampson over the blue line. Back to Ingerfield. Takes his shot. Glenny stopped it by falling in front of it and covers up. And Bob, who do we have in the second intermission?
Well, Bill, this has been White Cane Week across the country, and so we took our cameras to the Ontario School for the Blind in Brantford. And we'll watch some of those youngsters playing hockey on our second intermission. And Ward's guest this intermission will be very timely, Normie Ullman.
I think it could be any better. And there you see the cut above the right eye on the eyebrow of Teddy Hampson. Keon fails to get the puck out, wrapped off the glass. Now it's Keon over for Oliver. Oliver wrapped it out over the line. Fulford missed it. Goes over on this wing of Donahue, covered by Keon against the boards. Fulford comes up with it to Horton. Horton then for Oliver. And Oliver shoots the puck into the Oakland zone. It goes into the corner. Back of the net for Marshall. Then to Ferguson, who pulled away from Oliver. Gets it over on the wing to Donahue. Donahue's pass deflected by Keon. Horton fails to get it out. Gets it again. And Horton goes straight up the ice at center. Over the line with Oliver. He shoots one, and it hit Howell. Oliver covers his check, but Harry Howell comes up with it to Ferguson, to O'Donohue. Off his stick, Horton gets it. He hit Fulford. Round for Horton. He just knocked it back to the other side. Ferguson trying to center it. Keon hooked it loose. Howie Menard trying to center it, and they decide to hold it for a face-off in the lead zone. 8:52 remaining in the second period. Toronto 4, Oakland nothing.
Look at Charlie Hodge, the backup goalkeeper for Oakland. Bill, he's probably has been as well-traveled as anyone. He's played for a lot of different hockey clubs and a lot of different leagues, and I think this was the fellow that Frank Selke Jr. wanted as one of his first draft choices when Oakland first came into the league.
Mike Lawton, 15 out there. Walton with Armstrong and Selby and Glenny. Selby gets it out over the blue line. Shot right back in again. A long shot. Rick Lee back for it. Rick Lee with Mike Walton, who takes the pass, tries to come out. Jarrett knocked it down. Lenny goes to the corner, wrapped it for Walton. And now Mike Walton brings it out with Armstrong. center. Flips it over to Selby. Selby cutting right in. Just failed to put it in the corner as he came up with him. A nice play by Britt Selby, who cut right in front. Now for Jarrett. Shooting it over the line. Gamble comes way out of the net. Shot it right on a Jarrett's stick. Cleared it back into the corner. And two Leaf players fall together, but Armstrong has covered up in the corner, and there'll be no puck coming out in front of the net.
To different drivers, performance means different things.
Performance? Performance is power to pass.
Performance is smooth running all the time.
Performance is economy, mile after mile.
Performance is longer engine life.
Performance is smooth acceleration. Performance is trouble-free motoring. That's what it is.
Performance is quick starting every time.
Performance is what Esso Extra is all about. Only Esso Extra has the engine cleaner. The engine cleaner additive helps prevent the buildup of harmful engine deposits, helps maintain better overall performance. Esso Extra, the performance gasoline.
All set for the face-off. Ullman out there now with Ellis and Henderson. Cleared up the center ice. Howell shoots it back in again. Gamble stopped that. To Horton off the board. Marshall gets his shot. Ellis breaks it up and splits down the ice. One man back. Ellis over the line. Takes his shot. Look out. That one nearly went up into the rafters. And up into the second balcony, and I don't think anybody was hit. Fortunately.
Well, they're looking at the coach there. I just wonder if they've got a prize for the player that gets the puck up highest in the end blues, because that one is sure rate.
Sure would, as long as it didn't hit anybody. That's the main thing. That thing was really moving. Goes back of the net into the corner. Howell off the boards to Ingerfield. Ingerfield, number 7, knocked it to the wing. Ingerfield trying to get it over the line. Chased back. Ellis missed him. Quinn intercepts a pass. Quinn goes down the ice over the blue line, gets his shot away, and Gary Smith stopped that. Ingerfield to Ted Hampson. Got it over the line for Vadnais, but that's way offside. And the face-off will be outside the blue line.
Esso Uniflow, the super premium all-season motor oil, protects your car and your new car warranty. It's warranty approved from Esso.
Toronto 4, Oakland nothing, as the puck was cleared at center. Pulford watched it go by him. Malloy gets a shot away, and that ends up off the boards. It's Pulford around to Oliver. Oliver set it up for Keon, and it's offside, as he tried to beat Malloy to the puck, but he was offside on the pass that came from Oliver from just inside the blue line. Bob?
Well, this Wednesday, the Leafs meet the Canadiens at the Forum in Montreal in what promises to be an exciting hockey game. Consult your local TV listings for the station and time in your area.
Chicago leading 3-2, as you could see on your screen. It was Pitt Martin from Papillon and Stapleton at 17-15, first period. 3-2 for the Blackhawks. Keon for Pulford into the Oakland zone. He passed it back. Pulford was hit hard, and Keon didn't see it. A long shot into the Leaf zone. Gamble comes out, gives it to McKinney. Jim McKinney coming out. Stopped by Ferguson. Oliver shot it right at Roberts. Alan Malone gets it over to Roberts again. Here's the long shot. That was wide. Bounces into the corner. Gamble yells at the lead player, Pulford. Pulford gets it out over the line. Malone having difficulty. Gets it ahead again. Then Jim McKinney gets it out. Now then, Howie Menard's pass ends up on Oliver's stick, and the checking is getting a bit close at the latter stages of the second period, but the tempo has been so fast over the first and second period that I think it's trying to tire a little bit, Bob.
Well, it has slowed down noticeably in the last 5 minutes. I don't know whether there are a few wet spots on that ice, too, Bill. It may have something to do with their skating.
Allen with 2 goals and 2 assists have led the Leaf attack as they lead 4-0. Jimmy Harrison out on the right wing for Floyd Smith. Back for Harrison. Broken up. Cleared back by Lawton. Gamble to Horton. Horton now straight in front of his own net. Straight down the ice he goes to center. Shot the puck into the Oakland zone. Right on the net. Gary Smith had to stop it. Howell is checked. Mike Walton takes his shot. Gary Smith got that and rolled down the side. But he held it out on the short side.
Take a look at that from that end zone camera, Bill. Gives us a little better look at that. The Walton's at an extremely difficult angle. He doesn't have anything else he can do with the puck. He gets the shot away. But Smith's hanging on to the corner of that post, and the puck hit the side of the net and rolled down.
Lenny checked by Lawton, but he gets the puck back. It's into the Oakland zone, and Glennie holds it there. Nice play by the Leaf defenseman, who nearly got himself trapped, but recovered in time. Jimmy Harrison with Floyd Smith, Mike Walton, Lawton, Gary Jarrett, and that's an odd one. That's the game of handball, isn't it?
He certainly scooped that one back, and Harry Howell was so surprised he didn't know what to do with it. He just hung on to it and throws the puck to get a face-off.
I don't even believe his eyes. Harrison got the draw back to Glennie. Glennie gives it back to him. He centered it for Walton. It was too hard. Eamon to Marshall, a shot. Campbell had to stop that bouncer. Garrett couldn't keep it in. Floyd Smith. A long pass for Walton. Over the line. Centered it for Smith, who goes to the corner. He in turn trying to center it. Harrison tried to get it back. Walton did. Horton getting set. Lets his shot go. That was just wide in the corner. Eamon then gives it to Howell. Howell straight down the ice at center. With Jarrett. They're over the line. Jarrett centered it. Gamble for Harrison. Eamon pops him against the boards, but the play is called.
The Atlas Red Brute. Lightning in a red case. Guaranteed for as long as you own it. See your Esso dealer now.
4 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the second period. Toronto leading 4-0. Lee, a long pass for Ullman. Ullman was given a jolt. Back comes Oakwood. Roberts centering it for Badney. Here's a chance for Hanson. Right in front of the net, another shot. And McKinney fell in front of it. There's a drive, and that just missed the target. Comes back to Roberts' shot. Gamble stopped that. Here comes the Leaf. Ullman to Ellis. Ellis over the line. Back to Ullman. Ullman took his shot. Henderson was cruising in front. Right back by Badney to Hampson. And Ellis is there to shoot it out. Back for Matusi. Over the line to Hampson. The pass for Matusi. He was skated off by Rick Lee. Now then Ullman. Comes back to the blue line. Roberts shot it back in the net. Hampson trying to center it. Gamble knocked it right into Badney's stick and sent it out in front. Back to Matusi. A shot. Badney was standing in front. He sent it out again, and it's McKinney. And he just puts it down the ice. There's a reach behind the team. 2:48 remaining in the second period. A pass up for Hampson. Hampson over the blue line. Stopped by Pulford, and the Leafs are playing a defensive game of hockey now, leading 4-0. Shot in offside into the lead zone, and we have 2:34 remaining in the second period. It's Keon with Oliver, Pulford, Quinn, and Horton facing Howie Menard, Normie Ferguson, Don O'Donoghue, Harry Howell, and Bert Marshall. Marshall up to Menard. Menard shot the puck for the Seals into the Leaf zone. And it's Quinn for Oliver. Oliver to Keon. Pulford streaking down the right wing. A pass for Pulford over the line. Keon follows up. Pulford shot it off the glass. Quinn lost it. Menard with Oliver skating him off. Horton is given a bump by O'Donoghue. It's centered, deflected into the corner. Menard trying to center it again, and Murray Oliver comes up with it. Oliver down the left wing. Tipped it for Keon. Keon stops. Digs it out. Keon and Marshall go down. Back up the ice for Howell. Howell with 1 minute and 40 seconds. Shoots it in. Campbell watches it go to the corner. Pulford digs it out. Marshall lets one go. Gamble knocked that off the glass. And it's Murray Oliver's pass for Pulford, and it's going down the ice. Going to the red line, but it won't go over. Harry Howell, long pass up to Menard. Over on the right side for Ferguson. Skated off. Harrison lost the puck. Cleared in offside. And we'll have a face-off outside the Leaf blue line. Ullman's 10th from Ellis and McKinney in the first period. Henderson's 9th from Ullman and Ellis from Ullman is 23rd. Then in the second period, Ullman's 11th from Glennie. McKinney getting the puck out the center.
Last minute of play in this period.
Less than a minute to go in the second period. Shot off the linesman. Ricky Lee shoots it out again. Back at center. Cleared in by Roberts, and Lee just shoots it out to Harrison. A long pass for Armstrong. Closing in, takes his shot. That's wide. Ricky Lee keeps it in for Selby. They get all tangled up. It goes over to Eamon. Eamon gets up to Mike Lawton at center. Going down with Jarrett. He's over the line. Takes his shot. Gamble knocked that down. And Armstrong comes back with 25 seconds. Armstrong and Harrison together. Armstrong takes his shot, gets it again, tries another shot. Oh, that's rolled by the open corner. Goes up to center ice. McKinney falls. Lawton racing down, takes the shot, and he shot it wide. Lee went down. They go to the boards. Ricky Lee is going to get a penalty for tripping. A tripping penalty to Rick Lee with 3 seconds remaining in the second period.
Toronto penalty to number 2, Lee. 2 minutes for tripping. The time, 19:57.
Eamon, Roberts, and Malloy. Puck is dropped. It comes back to Roberts. There's the shot. The bell goes. It hits Glennie. And the second period is over from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Hockey Night in Canada.
They tell me.
True, my lord. For instance, with this crystal goblet, I can read that you have good taste and breeding and an inadequate hot water supply.
What a hump.
Observe this smear caused by washing in water which is too cold. Come, see for yourself.
Quite right, Holmes. It's cold. A minute.
Let me call an expert of a different kind. You will soon see things change for the better.
Say, Holmes, who is that man?
An SO heating expert, installing an SO water heater. An SO water heater provides one with an almost constant supply of hot water.
All the dishes will come in clean up.
Naturally, Watson. When you install an SO water heater, the proof comes out in the wash.
Rent an SO water heater for only $2.99 a month.
Well, Norm Ullman added to the total of the Leafs in that period with a goal at .551, and of course he added to his own total, 2 goals, 2 assists tonight. And Norm, I guess we should have had you on the first of the year.
I think so. People have been sending me rabbit's feet and 4-leaf clovers, and they've been sending me books and all kinds of things to help me out of this slump. And I think the best therapy is to have a night like this and might get going.
Can you figure out any kind of reason? Because goals in 20 years is still great, but it's not a typical Ullman year for goals.
No, I'm a little disappointed in the goals. I've been getting about the same amount of assists as I usually get, but the goals are down, of course. And I think it had a lot to do with Paul Henderson being hurt there for a while, and I had to play with several different line mates. And they put Ron Ellis back in our line tonight, and he seemed to fit in real good.
Now, how does your style of play change when Ron Ellis is on your line?
I think you have to move the puck up a little quicker, because Ronnie's, as everyone knows, is real fast. He gets down that wing pretty quick, and have to give him the puck most of the time. As playing with, say, Armstrong or something like that, they kind of come from behind, and I carry the puck in, try to get it over the other team's blue line, and then make a play to him. But here, Ronnie's usually on the move, and Paul's real fast, too, so I have to get the puck up to him before they get over the blue line.
So you don't sort of stay in the slot as much?
Well, you stay in the slot because they carry it in, and that's where it's pretty hard to get back down in front of the goal before they get there, because they're a little bit ahead and they're fairly fast.
Now, Norm, I noticed once in the second period tonight, you took the puck just across your own blue line, and you saw Ellis breaking just as you've described it, and you fired a shot right into the corner to hit the boards in a certain way and come out. Now, is this a thing you work at practice?
Yes, we tried that 2 or 3 times tonight. I think it's a thing to do when Ronnie's breaking down the wing and the man is with him. He's in between, actually, me and Ronnie, and it's pretty, you can't get the puck to him. So I think the best thing to do is put it off the backboards, and all he's going to do is get a step on his man, and he can pick that puck up. Once he had his man beat the second period there, but the puck was rolling as it came off the boards, and he didn't get a very good piece of it.
Well, now, Norm, you were the president of the association, the Players Association, and you're now the sort of the past president. Did that take up a great deal of your time?
No, not actually, not very much. We have 2 meetings a year, one at the All-Star game and one in the summer at the draft meetings, and maybe 1 or 2 other meetings just between the players themselves.
But no particular pressure of hard work on it?
No, not too much, no. I mean, there's a player from each team, a representative, and we get together maybe a couple times a year. And any major issues, well, we consult all the players in the league.
And will one of the major issues of the June meeting this year be some kind of a recommendation on the reserve clause?
Yes, we talked about last year at the meetings, and told them that this is what we were going to talk about in future meetings, and we really haven't decided anything or really made any plans on what we would want in it. I know you can't just take the clause out completely, but maybe make a compromise on it or something.
Good. Well, thank you, Norm, for being with us. Sorry we didn't have you on sooner so you could start scoring goals. Continued good luck to you. Well, you know, this evening marks the conclusion of White Cane Week across Canada, and earlier this week, in connection with this campaign, our Hockey Night in Canada film crew visited the Ontario School for the Blind, and with that story, Jack Dennett.
A visit to the Ontario School for the Blind in Brantford is a unique and rewarding experience. Here you see perhaps the most demanding facet of the teaching profession. The guidance and direction given to the children during their stay at the school will arm them with the knowledge and the experience to overcome their one handicap. The recreational program is varied and well-directed. It offers an outlet for the abundance of energy that all children have. During our visit, we talked with Mr. George Whetstone, Assistant Superintendent of the school.
The Ontario School for the Blind is under the jurisdiction of the Ontario Department of Education and is the largest school for the blind in the Dominion of Canada. We have 250 students. The course of study followed at the school is the regular Ontario curriculum. We follow grades 1 through to grade 12. Our students leave school at the end of grade 12 with 4 years of the 5-year arts and science program, which permits them to go on to either grade 13 in their own home communities or to attend colleges or universities of their own choice. hockey for the blind has been a part of the school for the past perhaps 25 years, and I suppose it was a natural outgrowth of when the rink was first introduced as a means of recreation for the blind, the skating, and it was, of course, a natural sequence that hockey should follow along, and today it's a real part of our physical education program. We'd have no more accidents at our school than you would in a regular school with the same age and number of children. We like the children to be able to act and perform in a natural manner, and thereby gaining confidence, and from this confidence, self-respect and independence, which is one of our objectives in terms of the educational program. I hope that we see that blind people are people, they are people first, and they're handicapped second. And in our curriculum, this is one aspect that we do emphasize. People first and handicapped people second.
A sighted society has to recognize the capabilities and the limitations of a handicapped person. With this recognition, we're given the opportunity to appreciate the determination and dedication these people have shown. Upon graduation, we have a useful, productive citizen that's looking forward to the challenge of the future.
And what an inspiring bunch of kids. We wish them every success. And now a quick rundown on what's going on in the other National Hockey League cities tonight. Still not much change from our first intermission. Detroit still leading Boston by 1 goal, that goal by Gary Younger. Los Angeles and Pittsburgh, 2-1 for Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh goals by Pronovo and Hextall, and Eddie Shack scoring for Los Angeles. Chicago now has 3 goals. Pat Stapleton has an assist on every single one of them. The scorers for Chicago, Papin, Nestorenko, and Pitt Martin, and Stapleton with 3 assists. For Philadelphia, the goal scorers Wayne Hillman and Jean-Guy Gendron. No score, of course, in the Montreal-Minnesota game so far. Next Wednesday night, the traditional rivals are going to be getting together again. The Montreal Canadiens play host to the Maple Leafs down at the Forum. So consult your local TV listings for your time and the station in your area. Hockey Night in Canada continues in just a moment.
This car is wearing a new type of wide snow tire.
Announcing the new Atlas all-weather guard belted snow tires.
Get new Atlas all-weather guard belted snow tires for a trouble-free winter from your Esso dealer.
If you're thinking about buying a new car, we've got the facts, and more than ever, the facts favor Ford. Because your Ford dealer's white sale is on now, get special savings on limited editions of the quiet riding Galaxy 500, our lowest priced hardtop Torino Fairlane 500 with Car of the Year styling, the #1 sports car of all time, Mustang, and tough Explorer pickups, each equipped with a special package of popular options. Act now, because white sale means savings at your Ford dealers, and that's a fact.
Well, Bob, the Leafs have 34 shots so far. That's about as many as they got in the game the other night.
Well, you know, Ward, when they have nights like this, I guess they're probably thinking, why couldn't we have done this the other night, or why can't we save a few for the next game? But hockey being the way it is, you got to take them as they come. And I imagine Normie Almond would like to get 12 instead of 2. And our highlights this period feature Normie in 1 play and Mike Walton on a couple. Walton was flying that period, and on this first play he comes out of his own end and he makes a very wide move on the defense here, and just as he makes his move around, he throws it back, and Floyd Smith is coming in on a tip shot, but Gary Smith is in the right place at the right time and nullified the play and turned the puck loose for the Oakland team to come up from their own end. But it was a nice move by Walton, and as I would say, he was moving. You couldn't see it too well in the slow motion, but he did cut wide in that defenseman, and he was picking him up and laying him down pretty good. Now, on this next one, it's Normie's second goal, and this is the kind of a thing that drives goalkeepers crazy, because Smith had Glennie shot from the blue line, taped all the way, and Ullman just reached out. We see Ullman taking the face-off here. He gets it back cleanly to Brian Glennie at the point. Glennie winds up, and just as he shoots it, Ullman tipped it with Smith going the other way. And as I say, I bet Smith will replay that one 500 times. We're going to replay it again and see how it happened here. We don't see it too much here, but just as it leaves his stick, Ullman, I don't know whether he did that on purpose or not, but he stuck his stick out, it tipped it, and just not only did it change direction, but it slowed it down, and it looked like it was just creeping across the line when it went in.
But it counted.
Well, like I say, he'd like to get 12 like that, I think. And on this next highlight, we show Mike Walton coming out with Bert Selby, and the key in this play is the way Walton holds that defense. He just held him in tight until Selby caught up to him, and he dumped it across slowly for him. Here, watch him hold him here and dump it over to Selby, and he made a nice move coming out, lost control just as he went to pull it past Smith. And another nice play went by the boards. We've seen so many good plays in this period, or this game, and this is the play I liked here where Selby cut, and he was almost at a 90-degree angle when he came out there. Unfortunately, he had Smith beat. The puck got away from him, and was another wasted effort, but a nice play by both Selby and Mike Walton.
Now, what would be the danger there? What would be the reason why the right winger wouldn't drive right in on the net? Would he be afraid that...
Well, he was coming in late, as you saw him there, but he just didn't quite have enough time, and, well, if he'd come in a little quicker, he might have got in row to Selby.
I see.
But he was moving in late on the play, but the puck got away from Selby too much for anybody getting control over it.
Now, Bob, you mentioned earlier about it's a game tonight sort of offense and not defense. Just exactly what did you mean by that, in terms of the way they're playing it, or just...
Well, it's a rather loosely played game. What I meant by that was that the defense didn't seem to be prominent at all. They weren't actually on a good defensive night. You'll see the defenseman taking out the man and breaking up the play at the blue line, but tonight the defensemen have been guilty of letting them get in behind them, losing control of their own end, and the goalkeepers have been having a nightmare. Not so much Gamble, but Smith.
Yeah, well, I felt the defense was rushing more tonight, and I wondered if that might be the reason.
Well, they certainly haven't had control of the puck, and when they don't have control of the puck, they haven't got control of the game in their own end where they should have control.
Thank you, Bob. Here at Maple Leaf Gardens, in Toronto, the score at the end of the second period, the Leafs 4, Oakland no score.
Torino wins the Car of the Year award, proof that facts favor Ford in the intermediate class. Fact, inside the all-new Torino Brougham, total luxury. Fact, popular sports roof styling, now available on Torino GT and this new lower-priced Torino. Fact, the new Fairlane Falcon with Torino Car of the Year award styling is Canada's lowest-priced intermediate. Save on special Ford cars and pickups, including Torino Fairlane 500, now during your Ford dealers' white sale. If you're looking for great values, the facts favor Ford. Custom 500. Big, beautiful, the lowest priced full-size V8 hardtop you can buy. That's a fact. The new Fairlane Falcon with Torino Car of the Year styling. Lowest priced intermediate you can buy. That's a fact. Mustang, #1. Since Mustang made the scene, nobody's topped it. Bonus fact. During your Ford dealers' white sale, get special savings on limited edition cars and pickups. So act now. See your Ford dealer.
The scores in the out-of-town games, Los Angeles at Pittsburgh at the end of the second period. Pittsburgh 2, Los Angeles 1. Philadelphia at Chicago at the end of the first period. Chicago 3, Philadelphia 2. And Detroit at Boston at the end of the second period. Detroit 1, Boston 1.
In the first period, Elman scored from Ellis and McKinney at 4:38, his 10th of the year. Then at 15:52, Henderson's 9th from Ullman and Ellis. At 18:37, Ellis' 23rd from Ullman, and it was 3-0 for the Leafs, who outshot Oakland 21-10. In the second period, Ullman's 11th, from Glennie at 5:51, as you saw as part of the videotape highlights with Ward Cornell and Bob Goldham. On the deflection for Ullman, number 11. And Toronto outshot Oakland in the second period, 13-12. Now, to start this final period, the Leafs will be shorthanded. Lee has a penalty and 1 minute and 57 seconds to serve. There's our referee, Wally Harris, who's had this game well under control. We had one brief fight between Walton and Roberts in the first period at 14:50. Then Quinn got a holding penalty at 18:52, and then finally Lee for tripping at 19:57. So just a total of 4 penalties in the entire game so far, and 3 of them have been to the Maple Leafs. All set now to start this final period. Armstrong along with Selby, Horton, and Quinn. Marshall, Harry Howell, Ingerfield, Vadnais, and Hampson. Howell knocking it over the line. Vadnais was stopped by Armstrong with Selby. Back of the net, holds it, then it's loose. Here's right in front of the net. Ingerfield, he scores! Ingerfield into the right side of the net, and it's 4-1. Now we'll have a look at that. Here's Vadnais getting the puck out in front to Ingerfield, and he lets it fly, and it's in the right side of the net.
Oakland goal scored by number 7, Ingerfield. Assist, number 5, Vadnais, and number 10, Hampson. The time, 28 seconds.
28 seconds, Ingerfield scoring from Vadnais and Hampson. Here's Ellis centering it out in front. Gary Smith stopped that. Howell shooting it around on the boards for Vadnais, stopped by Ullman. Ullman trying to get around Marshall. He's taken out of the play. Hampson loses the puck to Ullman. Ullman sends it to McKinney. Right in front of the net, a shot. Ullman goes after the loose puck. Knocking it into the corner. There's going to be a hooking penalty here to Marshall, number 19.
Shoot for big savings on my Mercury Meteor during Mercury's Pick-a-Pack option sale. Save up to 30%. Bobby doesn't know a bargain from a hole in the net. My Montego package saves you 35%.
Hockey players, they drive for show. I putt for dough. My Cougar package is your best buy when the chips are down.
Save now on these option packages. Save on Ford Explorer pickups, too, at your Mercury dealer's Pick-a-Pack option sale.
Here's that penalty to Marshall. He definitely had Normie hooked it just almost as if he had a rope around him, and he made sure of it here by running him into the boards, and the referee was standing right there, and he's gone for 2.
Oakland penalty to number 19, Marshall. 2 minutes for hooking. The time, 1:04.
1:04, a hooking penalty. McKinney to Ullman. With Henderson and Ellis up the center ice. Over to Walton. His pass for Henderson, broken up by Vadnais. Vadnais knocked down by McKinney, and Walton comes back with Ullman, Ellis, and Henderson. Walton over the line with Ullman. Trying to get it back for Walton, and it's knocked out over the blue line. McKinney over the line. Still has it. Right in front for Henderson. Henderson still has it. Trying to dig it out. Ullman gets it out to McKinney. Into Ullman. To Henderson. Henderson for Ullman. For Henderson. Back to McKinney. Over to Walton. To Henderson. Takes his shot. Walton into Ellis. Back to Walt. Over to McKinney. Takes his shot. It's right on the doorstep, and Gary Smith covers up. Face off in the Oakland zone to the left. 33 seconds left in Marshall's penalty. Keon gets it back to the blue line. Horton kept it in, so does Glennie. Then he shot it over to Poulter. Poulter took a drive, that hit Badney, and he shot it down the ice. Toronto 4, Oakland 1. Cleared into the corner. Horton. Around to Oliver. Then to Poulter, at least to Keon, with Poulter coming down the right side. Glennie trailing. Keon trying to go around. Poulter had it on a skate, lost it. It's deflected by Menard down the ice. And now then Marshall's out there. As Horton goes back, and it's icing called against the Oakland Seals with 16:50 to go in the game, and the Leafs leading 4-1.
So I'd like to mention in this game, up to date, Billy Hickey hasn't seen a great deal of ice time. And this is rather unusual because Billy Hickey has been quite prominent for Oakland in the past 2 years, being among the top scorers on the team both years. And I just wonder if he may be nursing an injury and Coach Glover not wanting to take any chances with him.
I imagine that would be what's happened to him, Bob, because certainly, when he's right, he's as good as anybody in the league. We're all set for the face-off. Oliver gets it back to Horton. His shot was weak in front. Roberts got it out. Glennie stopped it. To Keon. Back to Oliver. Got it in. Offside was Fulford. And the ticking is getting close again after the Oakland club took advantage of the penalty to lead.
This Howie Menard, number 16, we see on our screen there now, Bill. He was traded by Chicago last December for Gino Ubriaco, and he's developed into a fine penalty killer.
And we're all set now as the puck is cleared to center. Horton for Keon to Fulford. Up to Keon, going in with Oliver. They're over the line. Back for Oliver. It was a back pass. Then it was shot by Glennie right on. Gary stopped that. O'Donoghue skating back of the net, stops there. Still has it. Clears it out on the right wing to Ferguson. Ferguson to Menard. Way offside is Ferguson, as Menard didn't make the play. And it'll be outside the Leaf blue line. Ferguson is 17, Norm Ferguson, with Menard 16, and O'Donoghue is number 11. Cleared back into the Leaf zone. Gamble stopping it there for Horton. Horton rolled away from Menard. He's leading the four-man rush to center for Keon over the line. Fulford keeps it in. Oliver took a swipe at it. Ferguson is bumped. Keon getting it back to Glennie. There's his shot right on. Keon steals the puck, takes the backhand, and Matusi steers it, but not out. Horton lets one go right on, and Keon was given a shot.
Ford has a better idea in seat belts. The new simple and convenient three-point restraint system. It's a great idea to get attached to.
$15 minutes, 32 seconds left to go in this hockey game. Toronto 4, Oakland 1. Harrison tried to sneak the puck. Floyd Smith gets a shot, stopped by Marshall. Marshall coming up for Oakland, the long pass for Eamon. Harrison goes back into his own zone with the puck. To McKinney, to Lee. Rick Lee up for Harrison at center. He shot it in. Goes to Smith. Shot around on the board. McKinney lets one go. That's off the target. Harry Howell. Straight up the ice to center. Got the puck into the Leaf zone. Gamble leaving it for Britt Selby. Selby takes his man out. Harrison can't get out. Jarrett centered it. Comes back for Howell. Howell let his shot go and hit Lee. Lee takes the pass from Floyd Smith straight down the ice over the line. And Marshall stopped him. Long pass at center. Stopped by Selby. Shooting it in. And it's Marshall back for it. Looking for a man in position. Harrison stole the puck. Trying to get Floyd Smith in front. Harrison poked it to an open wing. Rick Lee lets one go. Knocked down by Marshall. Clears it out to Jarrett. Jarrett down the left side of center up over the blue line. Takes his shot, and that's wide. Eamon from the right wing is bumped by Henderson. Harrison got the referee down. Puck goes loose to Eamon. Harrison shot the puck off the boards. It's going down the ice, right on the net. And it's Ullman out there with Ellis and Henderson. Howell. Poke check by Ullman. Goes over for Marshall. Marshall to Howell. Up to Mike Lawton at center. Shoots the puck into the Leaf zone. Gamble tipping it there for Quinn. Quinn lost the puck to Eamon. Eamon trying to center it. Did right in front of the net. Lawton can't get his shot away as Henderson has it. Henderson trying to get away on the left wing. He does the center with Ullman and Ellis. It goes to Henderson. Centered it right in front of Ellis. Right in front of Ullman. Couldn't get his shot. And here's Gary Smith leading up to center ice. And he shoots it down the ice. And Gamble shoots it back. Horton in for Ullman. Back to Horton. Horton straight down the ice with Ullman over the blue line. Back to Ellis. He shoots. That one hit. No. Number 4, Wayne Malone. Back up at center ice. Over the line for Hampson. Trying to cut in. Centered it. Deflected back of the net. Hampson back to Roberts. His shot in front of the net. Ingerfield. Ingerfield right in front of the net to Hampson. A shot. That was stopped by Horton. The rebound goes to the corner. Ullman gets it out to center ice. Stopped by Roberts. Over to Ingerfield again with Vadnais. Pass right on to Poker's. Poker straight down the ice. Gets over the blue line. Takes his shot. It's wide. Poker's got it again. He centered it out in front. And it's brought back by Hampson. Hampson at center. Stopped by Lee to Oliver. To Keon. Keon, McKinney, and Poker. They're going over the blue line. Closing in. Back to McKinney. Right in on goal. He shoots one. That was stopped by Gary Smith. Up to center ice. Vadnais shot. Over for Hampson. Over the line. To Vadnais. Takes his shot and hit Lee. Murray Oliver. Pulling away from Ferguson. Long pass to Keon. They're over the line. Back to Oliver. He shot it wide. Back up the ice for Vadnais. Over to Ferguson. Down at center. Over the line. Ricky Lee missed him. Ferguson fell off the board. McKinney to Pulford. Pulford couldn't get it out. Marshall fakes the shot. Now he's letting it go. And we'll stop that. Play is called, and there's going to be a cross-checking penalty to the Maple Leafs. Ricky Lee was the lead player to pick up the cross-checking penalty. The time of the penalty was 8:45. Toronto Maple Leafs 4, Oakland 1 in this final period. And the Leafs are shorthanded as it's cleared down the ice. Ullman is replaced by Selby, is out there with Armstrong. Howie Menard up at center. Stopped by Armstrong. Armstrong coming back. Gets away from Marshall. Tips it over on the right wing, and it's Menard shooting it around on the board. Goes back up the center ice where Glennie has it. Glennie hit Armstrong. Goes after it again himself to Selby. Selby to Horton. Up for Armstrong. Armstrong. He's checked. Marshall after it for Oakland. Clears it into the Leaf zone. Lenny going back for it. Shot it around for Selby. And Selby makes sure of it by clearing it down the ice. A minute remaining in the penalty to Lee. 10-10 now remaining in this hockey game. Toronto 4, Oakland 1. A pass for Ingerfield. Covered by Glennie. To Selby. Selby just rags the puck. Goes into his own zone. Over to Glennie. Up for Selby. Knocks the puck down the ice into the Oakland zone. And a good bit of defensive work by Britt Selby and Brian Glennie. Up the ice now for Harry Howell. There's a long shot wide. The rebound cleared by Gamble. Horton knocked it off the boards to Selby. And Selby goes up. Ellis trying to catch up with him. Selby took his shot. Ellis gets the rebound. He's covered by Howell. Knocks his man down. Up the ice now for Howell to center. A long pass for Vadnais on the left wing. Vadnais back of the net. Centered out front. And Ricky Lee is on the ice. Long pass for Lee. And it's offside as he took it over the red line from inside the blue line. 9 minutes, 9 seconds left in the hockey game, Bob.
1 week from tonight, Hockey Night in Canada will be back as the Detroit Red Wings meet the Canadiens in Montreal. And the Philadelphia Flyers will be here at the Gardens to meet the Leafs. Be sure to consult your local TV listings for game, time, and station in your area.
There's the score on your screen. Toronto 4, Oakland 1. Hampson stopped by Lee. Lee comes out of his own zone with Ullman and Henderson. Henderson on his wrong wing. Takes his shot and takes about that. Ullman kept it in. Still has it. Coming closer. Tried to go around Roberts. He does. Back of the net. Right in front. A shot. Shot down the ice to center. McKenney giving it to Rick Lee. Up the center ice. Long shot. Gary Smith subs that. And he holds it. And then he was going to hand it to Floyd Smith. And he said, I don't want it.
The way he was doing that, I was waiting for him to make another of those excursions of his to center ice. The last time that he came out with that puck, some of the Oakland forwards could have taken an example from him because he was moving it pretty good.
He was out skating the whole bunch of them. Oliver tipped the puck down the ice between Horton and Quinn. Horton gets back. Covered by Donahue. The puck loose to Pulford. Got it around on the boards for Oliver. Fails to get it out. Cleared back of the net. Horton is given a bump. It's cleared right onto Ferguson's stick, and the shot is wide. Keon up for Oliver. Went over his stick again. Then Keon tried to hook it, and Pat Quinn gets it. Quinn over the line, and Oliver went in ahead of him. .7:55 remaining in this hockey game. Toronto 4, Oakland 1. Quinn a backhand. Gary Smith stopped that very easily. Rick Machusi. A pass for Roberts to Ferguson. Stopped by Quinn at center ice. Quinn shooting it over the line, and Keon was inside. Pat Quinn whacked the ice with his stick, thinking that he should have made the play a little faster, but he was
having a little trouble finding it, I think.
Right. He should be worried about it because he did everything he had to do to keep it there where it was. Oliver is offside with Pulford as Keon had dragged it in over the line, and a little wet down there.
Here's a good look at Norm Ferguson. He got 2 quick goals last night in the first period to give Oakland a 2-1 win over St. Louis. Incidentally, that was Oakland's first ever win in St. Louis.
Oliver was after Machusi. It's picked off by Roberts. He gets it up to Menard. Menard A pass on the right wing for Ferguson. Quinn bumped into him. Got the puck back to the defense. Machusi feeding it up to Roberts again. Roberts up at center. Over the line. Roberts waited too long. And Horton comes up with it. Off Menard's stick to center ice. Shot by Ferguson back into the lead zone, and now it's Quinn. A pass up for Oliver. Over on the right side for Fulford. Broken up by O'Donohue. He cleared it in. Campbell had to stop it. Horton. To Fulford. Up to Oliver. With Harrison. Got the puck into the corner. Marshall after it. Cleared it back to Harry Howell. Howell up to Ferguson. Ferguson's pass for Menard. And Menard had to go back into his own zone. Up over the blue line again. A pass. Walton broke it up. He was grabbed by Harry Howell. And that's a penalty to Howell. '70s Best Buy by far is Maverick. Easy to buy, easy to run, easy to drive, and real good fun. Plenty of room for long legs inside, holds lots of luggage, got a sure smooth ride. That's Maverick. Priced real low, there's no better buy than the 1970 Maverick. That's why you should go to your Ford or Mercury man just as soon as you possibly can and see Maverick. It's sure shooting is a great little car. Howell of Oakland for holding at 13:46.
Here's a look at that penalty. I don't like call of holding. I think you could call it getting caught because he was just on the way by and he stuck his arm out.
Ellis tried to set up Ullman and it's shot down to center. McKenney knocked it down with his glove. Now he comes up to the Oakland defense and over. He's got it. He closes in. Ullman tried to deflect it. It was knocked by Gary Smith into the crowd. The youngster has a souvenir. And is he happy?
He got that on the first bounce, too, Bill. He looked like a good first baseman taking that right off the wall.
Toronto 4, Oakland 1. Leafs with the man advantage. 5:53 remaining in this hockey game. Ellis went to the corner. He fell. Henderson bumped into Marshall. It's shot to the blue line. Mike Walton keeps it in. Cleared it back again. Henderson went after it. Madney clearing it, but not out. Ellis has the puck. Trying to set it up for Ullman. Ellis back in the net. Clears it back to Walton. Back for Ellis. Off the boards to Walton. Walton let his shot go, and that was grabbed by Gary Smith. How about that sneaking in between the two defensemen?
I think that Smith has captured the fancy of everybody here, not only because of his wandering habits, Bill, but he's made some fine saves. He's been very good with his glove. That was a perfect example of a nice glove save.
Sure was, and the way you can sneak out in between his two defensemen, and there was no screen in that. Keon was knocked down. Madney shoots it. He hit Hansen. Kept in by McKenney. McKenney for Walton. Walton still has it. Cleared it. Hickman player lost his glove. It comes up for Ingerfield. Ingerfield is covered by Keon. Keon comes back with Oliver and Pulford to center. Over for Pulford. Pulford closing in for Oliver. Right in front of Walton. He shoots from the center line. Walton has it again. Right in front of Oliver. Did he score?
Take a look. Some nice work by Mike Walden here, hanging on to that puck. Being short of himself. Takes it in the corner, and he takes a look. And he sees Murray Oliver standing there, and watch Murray Oliver throw that up over Smith's left shoulder, right in the top left-hand corner. I don't think he had about 4 inches to put that puck in, and that's where he fired it. A nice play by Murray Oliver.
Toronto goal scored by number 11, Oliver. Assist number 16, Walton, and number 20, Fulford. The time, 15:20.
15-20 as the Leafs move in again. Harrison right in front of the shot by Selby. Selby's got it again. Gets it back to Horton. His shot hit a leg. Now he's got it again. Right in front of Floyd Smith, his shot. Oh, and Gary Smith stole that one from Floyd Smith. He thought he had that one in the bottom left-hand corner.
There's another deflection here with him going the other way on this shot of Horton's and coming out to Floyd Smith. He released the puck as soon as he got it, but it hit the defenseman on the way by, and Gary Smith just managed to get his left foot up there and stop that puck.
15-20 was the time of Oliver's goal from Walton and Pulford. Shot into the Leaf zone. It goes to the corner. 4 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the game. A shot. That hit Glennie. Eamon gets it back to the blue line. Lawton takes Glennie to the ice. It's back of the net. Horton shoots it around to Floyd Smith. Up for Harrison. Over the line. Eddie Harrison centered it for Floyd Smith. Knocked back of the net. Cleared off the boards to Harrison to Glennie. Shot it back of the net. Floyd Smith centered it. Harrison for the drive, and that was stopped by Gary Smith. Toronto 5, Oakland 1.
Ford Custom 500, the lowest priced full-size V8 hardtop you can buy. Ford Custom 500. Facts favor Ford.
Puck is shot around on the boards for Ingerfield. He's bumped by Henderson. Ricky Lee's got it. He tried to set up Henderson, and it's brought back by Oakland. Over to Hanson. Kenny knocks it to Ullman. Ellis is loose down the right wing. Ullman to McKinney. Over the line. Ullman trying to set up McKinney, and it was knocked out by Marshall. Lee tapped by Hanson over to Ingerfield. Over the blue line. Dropped it back, and Henderson is there. Henderson for Ellis. Henderson follows up. Ellis over to Henderson. He's closing in. Tried to get it back to Ellis. Howell is hit by Ellis. It comes back to McKinney. His shot. That missed the target. Comes out over the blue line to center. Over the line for Ingerfield to Hampson. Hampson keeps the puck in. Dropped it back for Howell. He got his shot, and Gamble stopped that. Comes back to the blue line, and it's shot around back of the net. Hampson trying to center it. He did, and it was tipped Ullman. Ullman going down the ice. At center. Over the line. Oliver couldn't keep it in. Gets it back to Martin. Oliver lying on the ice, crashing underneath him, was Vadney. And that was an odd one. He must have lost his balance and slid underneath Oliver. It didn't hurt him.
He could have been badly hurt there because he was so close to the board, Bill. I'm glad to see him get up without an injury.
Toronto 5, Oakland 1. Pulford tried a pass that Menard broke up. Then Pulford takes him out of the play, and Murray Oliver sifts back to get it. Over to Horton, up for Oliver. Oliver goes over the line, gets his shot away. It's way wide. Horton moves up. In for Pulford. Goes back to Oliver. He centers it for Keon. Keon fell. Matussi getting it back. Robert shot it up the center ice. Quinn over for Pulford. Donahue picks it off for Oakland. Passing it back to Matussi. Up for Menard with 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the game. Quinn over to Pulford. Over the line. Picked off by O'Donoghue, who goes back of the net into the corner, comes up to his own blue line to center. Takes a long shot. Gamble stopped that. Quinn clearing it to Horton.
Last minute of
Martin
play
gets it up
in
to
the
Oliver.
game.
Oliver just shot it down the ice. It's touched, and it'll be icing called against the Maple Leafs.
Well, I've got a minute here, Bill. Next Sunday out in Vancouver, British Columbia, there's an old-timers game out there, and if they can find a motor to put on a pair of skates, I might take that in. Montreal old-timers are going out and playing a bunch of us other has-beens. Harry Watson, Wally Snowski, and Sid Smith, myself are going out to help some of the West Coast boys, and it's for a very good charity out there.
Well, good for you, Bob, and you stay in good shape now between now and then, will you? Up the ice now, a long pass for Walton. He's in the clear. Going right in on goal. He shoots. Oh, and Gary Smith outjudged him. Floyd Smith for Walton. Walton again trying his luck. And he's beaten by Gary Smith on that one. A nice play by Mike Walton, an even better play by Gary Smith. Floyd Smith left the puck there. Harrison bumped into Marshall. Eamon centering it. Played out over the blue line. Bert Marshall bumped by Floyd Smith. Puck is loose. That one hit Ricky Lee on the knee. Over the line for Jarrett. 8 seconds left as the puck comes back. Marshall lets one go. That's over the net into the corner. Right in front. Gamble does it. The bell goes and the game is over. As the Leafs have defeated Oakland 5-1, but Ricky Lee took an awful belt with a puck on the kneecap. In just a moment, our 3-star summary.
It takes you by storm. 1970 Cyclone from Mercury. Cyclone with a 429 cubic inch 4-barrel V8. Power gets to ground through a high-performance 4-speed shifter, competition suspension, and big belted tires. Cyclone. If you want a little more, drive the new Cyclone GT or the greatest stormer of them all, Cyclone Spoiler. Cyclone's got some beautiful running mates, too, for 1970. Montego. This is Montego Brome. Classic roofline, clean sculptured sides, bold new grille, and a rich new interior. 9 models to choose from, including 2 wagons. Within every Montego is the soul of Cyclone. Cyclone and Montego. The sign of action, your Mercury dealer.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the 3 stars of tonight's game as selected by Foster Hewitt. The first star, Norm Ullman. The second star, Ron Ellis. And the third star, Ted Hampson.
Well, Foster, that is by far the most productive night that Normie Ullman has had here. And, of course, it was almost a unanimous choice for first star.
Right, and he played a game tonight just like you expect him to play because he's a superstar, and he finally came into his own again.
Here is that first goal. Ronnie Ellis takes a shot. There's a rebound, and then Normie's right on the doorstep to shove it under Gary Smith.
Yes, he was. Albin was in on 4 scoring plays, 2 goals and 2 assists, and here you see how he does it. The puck first went into the corner, of course, and you'll see the timing here, right in front of the net. Gary Smith didn't have too much chance, so they come right in on top of him. And Albin was right there to shovel it in. He was the great opportunist tonight.
And Ellis, of course, also had a great night, and I was interested in your choice of the Oakland Seal player, Teddy Hampson, an old Leaf who is suddenly taking on new life.
Well, I thought he showed tremendous speed out there, and he was trying all the time. He was on the ice quite a bit. I thought Howell played a very solid game on the Oakland defense, but and Menard played very well, too. But
for a while, I thought Gary Smith was going to be a forward.
Yes, that was quite a trick when he went right up the center ice carrying the puck. I don't think a goalkeeper has done that in an NHL game for quite some time.
I think this is perhaps one of the best games this season, certainly at Maple Leaf Gardens, with one of the clubs we now call expansion teams.
Yes, I think there was a lot of fire to the game and a lot of good skating, and Oakland, I think, had some bad luck right at the beginning of the game. They had the Leafs on the run, but when they didn't score, then, of course, they're hard to get after that, and Ullman was really the top man.
Foster, thank you very much. Hockey Night in Canada continues in just a moment.
night at a chalet can be fun, as long as you have sure transportation. This is it, the 1970 Cortina, built strong to stand up to everything winter has to offer, with a big trunk that swallows up your winter gear, and a special Canadian winter driving package of heavy-duty equipment for sure winter starts. You'll find room for 5, and Cortina's optional automatic transmission is designed with ease in mind. Just put it in drive and go. Cortina, exceptional gas mileage in a car that's proved its strength by winning over 500 international races and rallies. And Cortina's unique aeroflow ventilation with air extractors keeps the air fresh as you go. The 1970 Cortina, a lot more car.
3 stars once again, Ullman, Ellis, and Hampton. Toronto outshot Oakland 54-32. Looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, no final games yet. Boston and Detroit tied up at 1-1. Pittsburgh leading Los Angeles 2-1. Chicago leading Philadelphia 3-2. No score in the Montreal-Minnesota game. So in the Eastern Division, Toronto's the only one that changes, moving to 50 points, 9 points behind that 4th playoff position of Detroit with 59. New York still out in front. And in the Western Division, no change yet. St. Louis out in front, but Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Oakland, and Minnesota all tight for those playoff positions. Now, upcoming games, next Saturday, Detroit will be playing in Montreal, and Philadelphia will be here in Toronto. And we might mention also tonight that Bobby Orr, with his goal, now gives him a total of 81 points. So the final score, Toronto 5, Oakland 1, from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Ward Cornell, good night, everyone.
Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Imperial Oil and Esso dealers, agents, and distributors. Ford, the better idea company with better products for you. And Molson's, brewers of Molson Export Ale and Molson Canadian Lager Beer.
Hockey Night in Canada is protected by copyright. Unauthorized reproduction by any means, in whole or in part, is not permitted.
Stay tuned now to CBC Television for the first McGee Reports, as Mike McGee presents an interesting show featuring the unusual aspects of sports. McGee Reports is next on this channel. This is the